The Naismith Hall of Fame class of 2023 will be one to remember. There are some huge names eligible for qualification, as the criteria indicates players have to be retired for 4 years before they can be voted to get in on their first attempt. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at some of the players that are due for Hall of Fame induction in this year's ceremony, starting with the first ballot locks. As per our predictions, which are pretty much based on fan favorites, there are 4 players in this category. All of them are NBA champions, and we call them locks because it's a no-brainer, really. It's hardly a prediction. At this point, it's impossible that these 4 don't end up in the Hall of Fame for 2023. 28 players throughout the history of the NBA have had a 100% Hall of Fame probability, and there are only 3 players who aren't on the Hall of Fame list yet, and they are LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Chris Paul. And that's because they're still playing. Out of the 28, though, 2 are from these 4 picks that we'll be discussing. First up, Dirk Nowitzki. How can he not be inducted into the Hall of Fame? Nowitzki's a 14-time All-Star and a 12-time All-NBA selection, along with being the 2006 to 2007 NBA MVP as well. But these awards don't hold a candle to the impact that Nowitzki had on the league. Dirk managed to win the elusive title, which had escaped him for the majority of his career when his Dallas side defeated Dwayne Wade's Heat in the 2011 NBA Finals. The German was the first European to take the league by storm and ranked 6th on the all-time scoring list. He'll definitely go down in history as one of the best shooting big men to play the sport, and he'll be a worthy Hall of Famer too. Second on the list, Dwayne Wade. Talking about the 28 players with a 100% probability of making it to the Hall of Fame, we've got Dwayne Wade. To complete the 2 currently eligible, he won his first championship a lot earlier than Nowitzki when he triumphed over the Dallas Mavericks at only 24. But that wasn't it. He also went back-to-back in 2012 and 2013 while playing alongside LeBron and Chris Bosh. The Demon earned 13 All-Star selections along with 8 All-NBA selections, not to mention 3 All-Defensive selections to go along with these 3 rings. So try and tell us that these 2 won't be the first ones getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Then at number 3, Tony Parker. Another first-year eligible lock is Tony Parker, who will join his San Antonio Spurs teammates Ginobili and Tim Duncan in the Hall of Fame. The point guard plied his trade in the NBA for 17 years in San Antonio, making the All-Star team 6 times, and was named to the All-NBA team 4 times as well. Not to mention, Parker also won 4 titles and will definitely be in the Hall of Fame in 2023. He may not be in the 28 players with a 100% probability, but 93.86% isn't too bad, is it? At number 4, Paul Gasol. Arriving from Spain, Paul Gasol has a probability of around 93.35% to make it to the Naismith Hall of Fame. Again, we'd say that it's more or less guaranteed to happen, and it should. Gasol spent his first 6 NBA seasons with the Memphis Grizzlies, but his career truly took off when he came to the Lakers. His legacy is such that the Lakers plan on retiring his number 16 jersey soon, and he definitely deserves this much. His career accolades are made up of 2 championships, along with 4 All-NBA selections. Not to mention, the man was a 6-time All-Star, and in full flow, there were few better. On to the intriguing candidates and the fan faves. This list is of the players that would be worthy candidates for making it to the Hall of Fame, but it's hardly a confirmation that they will. There are 3 names on this list. 3 very intriguing names, we must say, and they're quite good at what they do. Coming in at number 5, Chauncey Billups. This might be fan service, but Billups deserves to be more than just an intriguing choice. After all, he's a Finals MVP winner for the brilliant 2003 to 2004 Pistons side and is currently coaching the Portland Trail Blazers. Billups featured for 7 franchises, but that didn't stop him from making it to 5 All-Star teams and 3 All-NBA teams along with 2 All-Defensive teams as well. He was very dominant for a couple of great years and deserves the plaudits that came his way. After that, at number 6 and number 7, Shawn Marion and Amare Stoudemire. These two deserve to be mentioned along with each other. They were, after all, key members of the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns during the mid-2000s. Unfortunately, for all that talent, the team failed to make it to the NBA Finals, but Marion did go on to win a championship alongside Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs in 2011. He obviously wasn't the driving force, but if your resume boasts a championship, you might just get in earlier than expected. Marion was also a 4-time All-Star and 2-time All-NBA, while his partner Stoudemire got more All-Star apps with 6 and All-NBA selections with 5. We're sure though he'd trade all that for the Larry O'Brien trophy he never lifted, but we think he'll have to settle for what he has. At the same time though, both players were nominees in 2022 for the Hall of Fame class, but did not become finalists. They'll be hoping for better luck this time around, but will they make it? Finally, a few more notable contenders. If we move a little further back into NBA history, we reach 3 fantastic players of the previous eras: Larry Faust, Shawn Kemp, and Detlef Schrempf. These legends are probably the best 3 retired players to not have made it to the Hall of Fame, and we'd love for them to do it. Hopefully, the right decision is made and they get in. Moving on, Larry Faust. He played for the Fort Wayne Pistons and the Minneapolis Lakers all the way back in the 1950s and the early 60s. Faust was an All-Star on 8 occasions, and all of them came in his first 9 seasons, which were outrageously good. We can consider Larry to be one of the first dominating big men in the history of the league, and has a greater Hall of Fame probability than Parker and Gasol both, with 94.2%. So we hope it turns out to be accurate and all 3 get in. Up next, Shawn Kemp. One of the beasts of the 90s, Shawn Kemp was mostly known for his ferocious dunks, where he simply didn't care about who was coming on to defend him. Dunks might have been his specialty, but it was his superb resume that put him in the Hall of Fame conversations. The 6-time All-Star made it to 3 All-NBA teams and was an extremely important part of the Seattle Supersonics team that made it to the NBA Finals in 1995-96. In an era that had the likes of MJ dominating the league, this is an insane achievement in its own right, and we think he deserves to make it to the Hall of Fame. Lastly on our list, Detlef Schrempf. Let's not forget that we wouldn't have Dirk Nowitzki if Detlef Schrempf didn't initially make it to the NBA. This German-American big man was one of the earliest big men to star in that role, and did it in the 90s for the Pacers and the Supersonics. He went on to win the 6th Man of the Year award and also got 3 All-Star nods. We know that his statistical resume isn't up there, but it hardly diminishes his lasting impact. All in all, it'll be ironic if he reaches the Hall of Fame in the same year as Nowitzki, and our fingers are crossed for this very reason. Ending with the players eligible for Hall of Fame induction in 2024. The class of 2023 Hall of Fame contenders is truly special, and we're very excited to hear who makes it, but there are some big names to look forward to in 2024. Vince Carter, who played for 8 different franchises, will be eligible for induction into the Hall of Fame. There were questions about whether he'll ever make it, but his longevity for us makes him the prime candidate to head the list in 2024. He made it past 25,000 career points and finished 22nd in the history of the NBA, and that's super impressive. Carter will likely be a first ballot pick, especially due to the lack of other big names. Another contender for the Hall of Fame 2024 class is Jamal Crawford. He does have 3 6th Man of the Year awards, but did fall 581 points short of making 20,000 points. While he never became an All-Star, we hope hope, as fans, that he makes it to the Hall of Fame. That's a wrap for this video. Did we miss out on a player who should be making it to the Hall of Fame in 2023? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.